Bliss loves, bliss. Rissa Vibes here, aka Readings by Rissa. So excited to connect with you as always. Welcome to another brand new weekly reading right here on my YouTube channel. So excited to have you here as you all join in. 1:11 p.m. Central Time every Sunday. We get together here on this channel to connect and just feel into the spiritual influences of the week to come, as well as the astrological influences of the week to come. And we just get to connect here as a community, a web of light community that we've created for the past 2.5, almost 3 years now. It's so exciting to know how long we've been doing it, and it feels like time just flew by. But I'm super excited to have all of you here as you join. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me know how you're doing today. Let me know where you're joining from. And for those of you who have never seen one of these weekly readings live, welcome as well. Thank you for joining for the first time. And if you don't know anything about me, my name is Rissa Vibes, aka Readings by Rissa, and I'm a professional intuitive and intuitive coach. And that means I help navigate other people's journeys and help them understand their spiritual evolution and growth. And I also teach them how to tap into their own intuitive gifts as well and navigate their own ascension. And so it's very exciting for me to join here every single Sunday and help you elevate your vibration and your spiritual path by connecting here every week and giving you some of the intuitive messages I'm picking up on, and also encouraging you to open up your intuition to feeling what your spirit guides and your inner being is telling you about the week to come. So as we develop the intuitive muscle, we're constantly strengthening it. We're constantly allowing it to be exercised and utilized, and we're using it. And last week's weekly reading was titled, use it, don't lose it. And it's the same thing for the intuition in regards to what I'm speaking on today, is that we really show up here every week using our intuition. And just by exercising that muscle every week, we are ensuring that our intuition stays sharp and active and we don't lose it. So I'm proud of you for joining here. I'm excited to tap into this week's energy. I want to do a little bit of review of last week's cards, just so that we know exactly where we're coming from before we jump into this week to come. And it's good to have you all joining. Let me know where you're joining from and how you're doing today. I see Kayla's here. Good to see you, Kayla. Okay, so a review of last week. In the beginning of the week, we pulled the spiritual growth card, and that let us know that we were really stepping into more evolved awareness of our spirituality, more intuitive ability, and also just this progression and expansion on our spiritual journey. And then in the middle of the week, we had the faith card, and that was letting us know that it was time to just trust, to have faith in what we know we want and the ability for us to create it into our reality with the help from source and our guides, and to really just allow ourselves to surrender to the divine timing and divine order of things. And then towards the end of the week, we had the Just Ask card, and that was letting us know that what we want can become real if we can just ask, if we can just ask to receive the guidance, the clarity, the assistance, all of the things that we may need to manifest the things that we want in our life by asking, reaching out to our source, our higher power, our inner being, our guides, whatever it is for you that's most comfortable and intuitive at the time. By reaching out, we are able to receive. It's so important. And then towards the end with that new moon in Leo, we had a new moon in Leo last Monday. And so we were really feeling this fiery energy building up. We were having this awareness of even more of that leadership and heart expansion. And with that energy, we pulled the Chariot of Ascension card, the Merkaba card. And the Merkaba, if you don't know, is the chariot of your being. It's the chariot of your energetic body, your light body. And your Merkaba really allows you to transcend time and space, to journey into future realms, to see yourself manifested, the successes that that you've asked for, also to travel to past selves, to learn lessons and to understand more about your soul, and all sorts of things you can do with the Merkaba just in journeying throughout your soul experience and throughout dimensions. And so it's really cool that that came up for the moon card as well, letting us ascend and progress even more into our multidimensional selves. All right, so that was the review of last week. It was a pretty intense week to integrate and also activate fire energy. And so we're going to talk a lot about that this week. There's a lot more to integrate and a lot more fire energy to discuss. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it for August 23rd to August 30th, 2020. And I'm super excited for this week because it is the last week official, non-officially, of August. We'll have one more day of August on the 31st next week before we transition all the way into September. But there's this energy of self-love, really being pushed into our awareness and into our experience right now, because August was the month for self-love from the annual card reading that I pulled all the way back in January when I pulled a card for every single month of 2020, and August was self-love. So this is going to be a really important week for an amplified energy of self-love. So let's go ahead and get into these spirit messages and dive right in. All right, so for this week, the first thing that I want to acknowledge is that we're entering Virgo season. Well, we've actually officially entered Virgo season. So shout out to the Virgos. Super exciting birthday season for the Virgos. And I want to just talk a little bit about the Virgo energy, because the Virgo energy is all about grounding. And we just came from Leo, right? And Leo was fire, and it was amplification and opening of the heart and leadership. And there is some strength in Leo and some kind of permanence, some structure, some stability with Leo as well. Not all the way grounded, but more of that passion, that fire. And so we're transitioning from that into the grounded and strong energy of the Virgo. Now, with that being said, we're really stepping into a lot of this intensity because we have a lot of fire going on. We talked about all the fire energy that was really just amplified last week with the new moon in Leo, and all these kind of extra bold kind of expressions of that fire. But now as we move into the Virgo season, we're really stepping into more of our awareness of, our ability to create structure with that fire, and to be bold in your dedication and in your ability to transmute anything that gets in your way, not to allow anything to limit you from your focus and from your complete dedication to your goal. And so Virgo energy is very much that way. And it's also very observant. And it also tends to be a bit of a perfectionist. And so as we move into that energy more throughout this week, we're going to want to pay attention to how that energy expresses itself in our lives. So pay attention to if you start to become a little more perfectionist than you normally are, if you get a little too in your head about certain things, details, minor details that maybe don't really matter, making sure that you find balance in that. Also making sure that your intensity doesn't become aggression, or doesn't, kind of create some kind of, just irritation in your aura, this sense of friction or tension that can be easily moved from that energy of intensity. And so, with the fire meeting the earth, okay, because Virgo is earth sign, right? So we're grounding in the fire. And when we meet fire with earth, as we see, in the wildfires in California, we're seeing that fire and the intensity of it and how it spreads and how it, it just continues to scorch the land wherever it hits. if it's not contained, right? And so we have to work to contain that fire as we ground it into our, our structures in our life, our organization in our life, our ability to feel stable and secure within ourselves, making sure that we're not so perfectionist within our, confidence and courage that we developed from Leo, that we become, overly analytical of ourselves and hypercritical of ourselves and things like that, or of others, right? So this is something to really pay attention to. However, your natural characteristics fall into play when it comes to fire energy and earth energy, make sure to balance out any intensities or extremes of those expressions, because they could create more stress or triggers or fears that will actually limit you from what you're really wanting to build and channel that fire into. We talked a lot about channeling the fire in productive ways last week, through passion, through creativity, through connection, through this ability to push yourself forward into, persistence and perseverance and things like that. All right, so from that grounding the fire with the Virgo energy, we want to really notice how we're also integrating the fire from the Leo new moon last week, noticing how there's fires all around us with the California fires. I'm in Arizona, so it's really, really close. There's also been some fires out here in Arizona, and we're feeling that fire energy express itself in many different ways across the globe. And so we want to notice how that is being portrayed in Mama Gaia and the way in which she's expressing herself. And I think we're going to see more of that. I've been feeling that tremble and that vibration of the earth really strongly again. Even last night, I felt it as I was falling asleep, just a really strong buzzing in the earth and almost like a earthquake energy. And so, we'll see what happens. And we don't want to wish this on anything, but we want to be observant like the Virgo, right? And the Virgo is the earth sign. So we want to be observant of Mama Gaia. We want to be observant of the earth. We want to be observant also of our earth element, which is our body, our physical body, okay? So when we're integrating things, energies that we've activated or experienced from astrological events or other things, we feel it in many ways. And when we ground it into our life and into our being, we feel it more in our body. And so we're noticing that our body may be responding to that fire energy that we've been activating or the earth energy we've been stepping into. And so that can be expressed through heat in the body. It can be expressed through tension and tightness in the body in certain areas. It can be expressed in kind of a buzzing in the body where you're almost trembling from the inside or feeling a little bit off balance. It could also translate as even just active energy in the body, where it's kind of like you're needing to move, you're wanting to move. With the earth energy, though, it could also be kind of a stagnancy, a hardness, a stability, a kind of rootedness where you feel stuck to, the couch or stuck to, the bed. And so these can really be ways that that energy is translating. And what you want to do is, if you're feeling extremes of that energy, you want to do something to balance it. So if you're feeling that stuck to the bed or stuck to the couch, you want to balance it with some fire energy, since we're working with that still too with Mars influences, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But you want to balance that with some fire energy by moving the body, allowing yourself to generate some heat in the body, because that will start to break up some of that stagnancy that you may be feeling if it's hyperactive. All right, so is everybody following me? How are you guys doing? I just want to check on you. Can you hear me well? Can you see me well? How are you resonating with this? Let me know. I'm super excited to be bringing these messages forth, because this is really important right now. We're in a transitionary period. We're about to transition into a new season, into fall in September as well. So we're really building up a lot of energy right now. And so we're feeling that intensity. And in these intense times, we want to utilize our intuition the most. We want to really let ourselves just step into a place of trust and connection, because that's how we're going to move through with the keenness and sharpness that we need to really keep ourselves on the best path for us. So don't get stuck in the 3D. This is the next spirit message. This is something that I spoke a little bit on last week, but it's been building this week and it's moving into more full force. There are temptations, there are aspects of ourselves that want to move back into the 3D because it's comfortable, and it's super important not to go backwards for the sake of comfortability. What we're experiencing right now is major transformation on a mass collective scale, on a community level scale, and on a personal scale. And so we want to recognize all the layers that we're experiencing that transformation and noticing how we are transforming. Are we staying in one place that isn't good for us, or are we moving with the progress and the growth? If we're not moving with it, we're going to get stuck or out of balance if we're moving with it in some areas and not in others. So being progressive, being able to notice how you're evolving and paying attention to if you are trying to stay locked to a comfortable position, even though you know it's not best for you. Because right now it's all about unknowns, unexpected changes. We're facing a lot of fears. I titled the reading title about facing fears because it really is a powerful energy right now where we need to lean in to these lessons and these activations of our warrior spirit. And so we have a lot of temptations and a lot of tests that are kind of trying to pull us back into the 3D. So make sure that you don't go back into that. And with Virgo, some of the shadow sides of Virgo being materialism, perfectionism, kind of being a little manipulative, these energies are very strong right now. And so we're going to see that happen within our experience. We're going to feel manipulated. We're going to have things try to manipulate us. We're going to have things of material value try to, persuade us to do something that we normally wouldn't do that's not good for us, and other kinds of things like that. So we want to pay attention to that. And fight the urge and show yourself how strong your spiritual self has become and how strong that spiritual muscle that we're constantly, building has become from the ways in which you've put energy towards it. And if it isn't feeling that strong, this is the time more than ever to find ways to build strength in it, to, learn to educate yourself, to dive into awareness and guidance on how to really get that muscle strong, because you need it. You need it more than ever right now when there's so many different opinions and perspectives and intense, categories of people in the world right now. We want to make sure that our intuition is sharp enough to discern and filter through what is best for us, what is our truth, what is our purpose, what is our role in this, and not be influenced too much by others. And we do that by stepping into our intuitive ability and letting that be our guide. So if you ever need help with that, let me know. I am a coach for that reason. I love to teach people how to tap into their intuition and sharpen that skill and build that muscle. So if that's something that you're interested in, let me know. I have put the description link in this video for you. I do it for every single weekly reading. So as soon as this video is uploaded from the live, you'll be able to see the link to schedule a free consultation call with me where we can talk about the coaching program options. And this is a great investment in yourself to step into your leadership ability in luminary light and light work, and also just in your ability to sharpen that tool for yourself in your own life, okay? All right, so the next spirit message is about maintaining progress through the 4D, because we are in the 4D right now, this kind of chaotic realm within our lives and within the mass consciousness in the world where everything's kind of clashing together, light and dark, heavy and kind of airy energy, just all sorts of dichotomy and contrast, just kind of coming together in a bit of a mess, right? And so we need to learn how to maintain our progress, our ability to continue evolving and continuing to succeed through the 4D, despite its chaos and kind of distracting energy. And we do that by staying focused on higher vibrational energies, higher vibrational perspectives of things, being able to see the silver lining in things, being able to see things from the perspective of your spirit versus the perspective of your shadow or your human essence, and really allowing yourself to release any of those 3D distractions, things of the material worlds that are keeping you from taking care of yourself in a more spiritual way, things that are keeping you narrow-minded or limiting your ability to expand and learn new knowledge or open your heart to new experiences or love. There's lots of things that can be distracting that come from the 3D that are going to tempt us again, like I said. And we really want to pay attention to releasing those distractions of materialism, greed, any egoic distractions, shadow distractions, any distractions that are based in conformity. And also, we want to take care of our body, because when we take care of our body, especially right now with the Virgo energy and that physical essence, we're really taking care of a lot of the energy that we're integrating, and we're making sure that we're integrating it in a powerful way and in a way that is graceful and best for us. So let's talk a little bit more about the body and the energies in the body. The solar plexus is kind of our fire vortex, okay? And so we really felt a lot of activations with our solar plexus last couple of weeks with the Lionsgate portal at the beginning of the month, 8/8 to 8/18. And then we had that powerful moon with the Leo energy, Leo new moon on 8/18 to sum it up. And we had a really strong essence of connection to our solar plexus within all of that, because the solar sun, the spiritual sun, and the earth were all aligning in those activations to charge up our leadership, our devotion, our dedication, our confidence, our courage, all of the energies that come right here from our solar plexus. And that was our fire, okay? That's what pushes us forward. That's what keeps us going. That's our fuel, okay? So with that fire energy, now we want to merge that with the physical body, and the physical body is our earth element, like I was saying. So from the last couple of weeks of that fire energy activation, we're moving into the earth energy activation with the physical body connection. And so this means that your confidence comes from your physical body right now. And so you may be noticing some things showing up for you that are showing you how your confidence of your physical body has been affecting you in a positive or not so positive way. And so you may be feeling some insecurities, you may be feeling some fears showing up, you may be feeling some things surrounding your physical body that you haven't paid attention to or haven't been wanting to feel. But these are for the purpose of recognizing where you're at on that spectrum, so you can start to take that initiative and use that fire energy that we just charged up to make the changes, because change is where we start to gain traction for new beginnings, right? And that's that earth energy coming in, that grounding of the fire. And so as we make changes by recognizing the things that aren't flowing in the direction of confidence around our physical body, we're able to get things in motion more with our physical body. And that also ultimately releases blockages that have been kind of causing us to maybe have health issues or, emotional issues or mental health issues, whatever it may be, because right now we're feeling that physical body healing, that physical body cleansing, and that physical body activation right now with the Virgo energy meeting the fire, okay? So body care is everything, and don't be too upset or don't get too consumed by any insecurities of the physical body. Know that those are tools to help you make the changes that you need to make. They're just pieces of information that your body is giving you to show you where those improvements can be made, so that you can feel better about yourself, and so that you can show yourself that fire energy that you've just activated and what power it has to help you make those changes in your life, okay? And if you're feeling great about your physical body, then that's also going to help motivate and amplify your goals, your long-term goals, and your other kind of successes in your life. That you're going to get a lot of energetic charge from your physical body right now. If you've stepped into a place of harmony with that and you feel very in alignment with your physical body, you're going to notice that that energy is going to move and help you act and embody more of the changes that you're trying to see in other areas of your life. So that's going to be great. And now communication also of desires is going to aid you right now. This is all about speaking things into existence. Okay, we have a lot of Mercury energy going on right now, and we're feeling that communication. And it's creating a plan in regards to the things that we adopted and recognized and identified in regards to our passion and our purpose over the last couple of weeks. I did host that Propel Into Your Purpose event last Sunday, and it was absolutely amazing. It went so well. We really got to understand this formula for stepping into your purpose and feeling confident in it. And as the people who joined really worked this formula, they were able to kind of notice that their purpose was within them the whole time. And as they did that, they were able to communicate their desires. They were able to speak what they wanted into existence within the call and the community that joined there. And that really also helps to create structure. And now with that, we're moving into a plan. We're now being called to create a plan that supports this identification of passions and purpose so that we can really ground it in even more with that Virgo energy. And it's really exciting because I do have an audio version of that workshop available for free as a replay for everyone who didn't join or wasn't able to make it live for that event. So I will put the link to grab that audio replay in the description for you as well, so that you all can enjoy that also. I will put in a link, and it's going to help you set up your email address, and then you'll also get little updates and offers and new event announcements as well by signing up with that. So that's going to be a really great little gift for you for kind of joining the community. All right, so let's go ahead and see what else we have before astrology. We've only got a couple more spirit messages to go. How's everybody feeling? Nico's here. Hey, Nico. Robbie's here. Standing Buffalo is here. Good to see you. Kayla's here. Awesome. Good to see you. Thank you so much. She says, I'm seeing more and more, especially about myself and my ego. Lots of heart-opening experiences. Yeah, beautiful. Oh my gosh, so good. And Nico said that's what I needed to hear. So good. Awesome. Okay, so let's dive in a little bit deeper with this. So the next message about this week is about brain balance and body balance. This is really kind of more so the left and the right side. When I woke up this AM, I felt this awareness of logic and creativity kind of at war. And some people being really in their head on logic, and then some people being really in their head on abstract thinking and creativity, and needing groundedness in both, where we are able to use our logic in a structured and constructive way, but we're able to release an over dependency on logic if it limits or threatens our structure and stability. And then the same with the creative and abstract mind, making sure that the abstract mind that's kind of out there, makes sure to ground in a way that's constructive. Because if it's causing us to kind of ignore really important details that could be necessary to keep ourselves safe, or keep ourselves from, creating a big issue in our life, then we have to make sure to balance that, right? Because we want to preserve our energy and we want to make sure that we're balanced. So brain balancing is that left and right brain hemisphere. I do have a brain balancing meditation on this channel. You can go to the playlist section of this channel and click on the intuitive practices playlist, and you can click on the brain balancing meditation. You'll probably just have to scroll a little bit, but you should see it. And that's going to help you balance the left and right hemispheres of the brain. The left hemisphere of the brain is all about that logic, that mathematical skill, the scientific mind, more of the, tedious action and organized aspects of self. And then that right side is the creative, it is the spiritual, intuitive, it is the kind of more abstract energy and artsy energy, okay? But we need both. We need both, and we need them to work together. And so as we balance the brain, we also balance the left and right side of the body, because they actually operate opposite. So the left side of the brain balances the right side of the body, and the right side of the brain balances the left. And so it's really important to know how our pain in our body is translating, how our movement and flexibility of our body is translating, and noticing how that may give us signs as to what our brain is doing, and making sure to keep that in balance. Okay, so really important to dive into some research on that, go down the rabbit hole of some awareness of the left and right hemispheres of the brain and the body, and understand how they interact, so that you can really have that information and wisdom and apply it to your life, because maybe that is just the answer for something that you've been experiencing this week, or will be starting to experience this upcoming week, that you might not be able to peg with just a normal common sense awareness. Okay. And again, so I just want to drill this in as well, that this is the not last week of self-love, but this is the last week of amplified focus on self-love for the month of August. So we want to make sure that we're taking the time to take care of ourselves. We want to make sure that we're listening not just to our body, even though we've talked about how important that is this week. We want to also listen to what our mind is yearning for, what our heart is yearning for. We want to pay attention to how we're taking care of ourselves, how we're speaking to ourselves, how we are acknowledging ourselves and respecting ourselves. These are really important aspects of self-love that we often forget when we're stressed, or when there's chaos in our life, or when there's intense fiery energy like we've been experiencing, or intense cosmic activations that we've been experiencing. And so we want to make sure that self-love is a priority, even if that means 5 minutes every couple of hours throughout the day. Your alarm goes off and it says, take 5 minutes to breathe, give yourself a hug, get yourself a drink, or get yourself something to eat, check in with yourself on what you need, do that, and then get back to what you were doing. If that's all you have time for, you can still make a self-love practice happen. So don't deny yourself of self-love just because you think you're too busy or things are too crazy, because self-love is needed most in those times. So don't deny yourself of that. Don't starve yourself of fuel to get you through those stressful times. Okay, it's super, super important. Now, confidence and comfortability in the skin you are in also falls in alignment with the self-love energy, and also the energy of the Leo new moon and Lionsgate that we've just integrated. And it also ties in to the Virgo energy, because Virgos have this awareness of confidence in their physical selves and comfortability in their physical selves as well. And this is very important, this ability to just be in that strength and that confidence and that pride of who you are, and this is a very strong energy. And some of us are going to feel this really bold and active, and some of us are maybe going to notice the gap between how we're expressing that and how we want to express it. Either way, again, going back to things like insecurities in our body being highlighted, these are just tools of awareness that help us to see, okay, we could really step into more confidence in this area, and starting to do the practice and starting to make the changes to do so, because you are in charge. Okay, you are in charge of your life. And the Virgo energy is very much aware of that. There's this strength, there's this determination, there's this responsibility and accountability for being in charge for your life. And so as you take charge of your life this week, you are going to notice that confidence and comfortability in who you are amplifying as well. So I encourage you, as a little bit of a practice, a journal practice, if you will, or however you want to, put this energy into practice, maybe in a meditation, but just to ask yourself, what does confidence mean to you? what does it really mean? And you can even use the chat or the comment section if you're watching the replay or live, either one, to type in a couple of things, some keywords on what confidence means to you. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What is the kind of essence of confidence in your opinion? Because we all have a different definition of confidence, and they may all relate in some way, but by defining your version of confidence, you're going to be able to be more clear on what you actually want to step more into as we build this Leo energy meeting the Virgo energy, okay? And this is a powerful energy to have available to you, a powerful awareness to have available to you in knowing what kind of confidence you want to step into or what confidence means to you. Because we also are being tested still in our confidence and our ability to be courageous by getting tests of fears from the universe. The universe is kind of showing us all the fears that we've kind of pushed down and tried to ignore or tried to pretend like we don't have anymore. And the universe is doing that because it wants us to see that these fears are completely false. They're false and they're irrelevant and they have no weight and no sustenance, but they're there. So we have to face them. We have to lean in. We have to really let our warrior spirit shine by knowing that we are so much stronger than any false assumption of the future, okay? Because that's what fears are. They're false assumptions of the future. And it's so important to cast those fears aside, because when we falsely assume the future, we're assuming that we know exactly how things are going to happen and that they're going to happen in the worst case scenario. And that's why the fear comes in. But why would we assume that as fact when we clearly know that assumptions are not factual? Even when we intuitively feel into something, it's not always 100% fact. It may be really close or it may be along the lines, but there's an energy of error. There's a margin for error because there's so many unpredictable factors in this world. The spontaneity of this world, the divine chaos of this world does not allow for that kind of accuracy most of the time. So we want to make sure that we release these fears by leaning into them and knowing that they're just false assumptions of the future that we've created in our head that we don't have to believe in, and that we can actually create a completely new assumption of the future that actually feels good and helps us to move forward into that fear and clear it versus to release or resist it or run away from it, okay? So some of the fears that I've noticed me facing and also other people in my life facing, clients, just the mass collective I've been feeling, are fears of impermanence. You know, this is the energy of feeling like you're not going to be around forever, or you're feeling temporary or irrelevant, or the fear of death, just any kind of fear of impermanence. Also, the fear of abandonment has been really strong in people. Fear of rejection. I know those last two are something that I've always battled with. You know, just this energy of fearing being left behind, right? Fears of success, fearing to be too great or to be successful and not be able to, you know, be the same person you were before or have the same, you know, people around you as you did before and so forth, fearing the changes that come from success, fearing the changes that come from failure or the lack of change that comes from failure. All of these are fears that are surfacing within us, fear of love, you know, things like that. And when we face these fears, we have to recognize, okay, what are the false assumptions of the future that I'm putting towards or connecting to these fears? Am I assuming falsely that I don't have a lot of time left to live, or I don't have a lot of time left to accomplish a goal, that fear of impermanence? Why am I assuming that I don't have enough time when I don't know how much time I have, right? You know, why am I fearing someone in my life leaving or abandoning me when there's no valid reason or evidence to support that, right? These fears and these false assumptions of the future, and that's how you battle them. That's how you argue them, okay? So take that time to journal about this and start to argue those false assumptions of the future so that you can face those fears, activate more of that warrior spirit, grounded in with embodiment and action towards change, okay? Lean in and face the fears, all right? Okay, so finally, as we sum this reading up, let's jump into the astrology influences before we pull cards for the week. So the first astrology influence is on Monday, tomorrow, August 24th. And we have a powerful energy with this Monday vibration, and it's because Mars squares Jupiter. And I talked a little bit about Mars last week. There's a lot of influences with Mars for the new moon in Leo, but now we have this Mars squaring Jupiter, which is really about that activity in Mars. The Mars is all about action and kind of passion and expression and change as well. And Jupiter is about expansion and evolution and abundance, okay? And so there is this fire energy as well with Mars, because Mars is ruled by Aries, which is a fire sign, and it's the first sign in the zodiac. And so this is really where the new beginnings are starting. I talked last week about how with our new moon last Monday, we weren't really going to see the new beginnings that we wanted to manifest gain that much traction until a little bit later. It was going to have kind of a slow start, and we would need to exercise patience. Well, this week I'm feeling like the new beginnings are finally starting to ground and gain traction because of that Virgo grounded energy, and because we have this activating force with Mars squaring Jupiter, helping us change, helping us restart things, and helping us really activate more soul accomplishment, okay? It's also going to be important for you tomorrow to conserve your energy, because there's a lot of fire energy. You don't want to burn out too quickly. So make sure to work smarter, not harder, and give yourself time to rest when you can, or recharge in ways that you know are helpful to you. Then on Thursday, August 27th, we have Venus trine Neptune, which is going to be powerful. It's going to be a very romantic energy, a very passionate, sensual energy. And it's also going to help us be very creative and channel a lot of power in our creative essence and expression. We're also going to notice some dreamy aspects to this energy with that Neptune influence, Venus being about pleasure and beauty, and the dream realm of Neptune integrating with that to bring some unconditional love and some kind of fantasy-like energy into the day. So Thursday's going to be really beautiful and a little bit dreamy. So make sure you also don't run with, fantasies or illusions on that day. Make sure to really check yourself on things that you need to approach from a realistic perspective as well, okay? And then finally on Sunday, August 30th, one of the second to last day of August, Mercury opposes Neptune, which is going to also kind of give us some of that dreamy energy, but it's going to cause us to be a little bit less expressive of our dreams and fantasies. And we may notice that we start to not see things as clearly. This is kind of an evolution from Thursday, where we're maybe seeing a little bit more fantasy and illusion than we are reality. And we're not able to express fully what's real, okay? Now on Sunday as well, Venus is opposite Pluto, and that's going to allow us to get relationships back into focus and back into balance if they've gotten off balance in any way. And it's really going to help us kind of gain new wisdom from that as well, and complete some cycles that needed to complete in order for our growth and our expansion. So those are the astrological influences of the week. We went through all the spirit messages of the week. How are you all feeling? Let me know how you're feeling, how you're resonating with this as we get ready to pull some cards for a beautiful summary of this energy. And I also want to share just a couple of announcements. I do have the virtual Starseed gathering happening on August 28th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. By the way, Mountain Standard Time is Pacific Time, so it's the same time frame, 6 to 8 p.m. And that's going to be a beautiful experience. We're going to gather as starseeds, talk about cosmic energy, talk about our galactic families, meditate to connect with them, share stories, and learn as much as we can about what it means to be a starseed. And I'm going to be sharing a lot of those really strong stories and awarenesses of the times that we're going through right now that refer to our cosmic awareness. Okay, so this is going to be a really fun event. It's only $20 to join. I'll make sure to put the link in my description for you to join that. And then I also have a free event on September 4th from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific time, and that's also Mountain Standard Time. And it's in collaboration with Fly Cacao Ceremonial Drinking Chocolate, and I am so excited to be collaborating with them. And this is a completely free event where I'll be doing an energy update and tapping into the energy of the spirit of cacao as we sip this beautiful healing earth medicine. And it's going to be just so exciting to join all of that energy together with the energy update and have a free community to tap into with that. So that'll be on September 4th. I'll put the link to sign up for that as well. And I will also, like I said, put the replay of the Propel Into Your Purpose event. I'll put a link in there to sign up for that replay so that you can receive that audio and also tap into the Propel Into Your Purpose aspect of this season, okay? All right, let's pull some cards. Higher Holistic Rogers is here. My birthday is August 27th. Awesome, happy birthday. I also know that Phil's birthday is coming up, I believe, August 25th. So happy birthday to you, Phil, when it comes up. Let's see, Meredith is here. Hey, Meredith, good to see you. Brianna is here as well. Nikki is here. Hello, my dear. Bobby Bella is here as well. Wonderful. All right, let's see what we have for the beginning of the week card from the Voyager deck. Beautiful. Got the Healing with the Angels deck next for the middle of the week. There it is. And for the end of the week, let's see. Facing fears, we are going to have the Healing with the Angels deck for some of that protective energy. There it is. All right, let's see what we have. Beautiful. Beginning of the week card is Purity. And this is all about cleansing. We talked about body care and being aware of the body and noticing what the body needs so that we can make sure that we cleanse it and that it's pure and it's balanced. And so we want to make sure that we really pay attention to balance and purity of the body and mind in the beginning of the week. Cleanse what you need to cleanse. That means belief systems, that means emotions, that means toxins from the body. Make sure that you cleanse because that is going to help you elevate in big ways this week, okay? We talked a lot about that. Middle of the week card is Empathy from Archangel Raphael. This is a heart-centered energy. This is letting us know that we are activating more empathic abilities, the ability to feel other people's emotions, to feel the shifts of energy in environments and in times of our life as change occurs. And that empathy is allowing us to be more keen and sharp in our intuition so that we can use it more thoroughly to get through with grace all of the things that we're getting through right now and growing through. So this card is powerful for the middle of the week. Let your empathic nature shine, lean into it, use it as the tool that it is, follow it, trust it, okay? And finally, end of the week card to give us some extra encouragement. We have lots to celebrate at the end of the week. Lots of things coming through. That Venus energy strong with abundance, that Jupiter energy strong with abundance as well. Venus being very strong in pleasure and beauty and connection and sensuality. And then we have that Jupiter energy and expansion, success, abundance, and things as well. So lots to celebrate. So get ready for some really epic opportunities, some of those new beginnings, like I said, gaining traction and showing up for you, and more confidence in yourself, more courage, more boldness in your action, and more just strength overall in everything that you are accomplishing and moving into and achieving right now. All right, so quick review: purity in the beginning of the week, empathy in the middle of the week, and celebration at the end of the week. Super exciting week coming up. So please feel free to rewatch this reading as many times as you'd like to integrate the energy and just remind yourselves of what to focus on this week. Also share this reading with anybody that you feel needs this guidance or some clarity or just some support in whatever they're going through. And also, check out the links in the description as soon as I post them in there so that you can sign up for some of those events and catch that replay of the Propel into Your Purpose event, which was super fun last week. I will definitely be hosting more events, just like I am hosting the Calling on Spirit of Cacao event on September 4th for free. So definitely sign up for that and check me out next week, 1:11 p.m. Central Time, for a brand new weekly reading right here on my channel, Rissa Vibes. I love all of you so much. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful week. And for all of you watching on the replay, thank you so much for watching as well. Feel free to comment below on how this reading resonated with you. I love, love, love reading those comments. And make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff, so that you can get the notifications for more content that comes from me, and just so you can support this channel and this Web of Light community we've created. I love you all so much. Have a wonderful day and a great week. It was so good to see you. I'll see you next time. Peace. Thank you, Higher Holistic, for the love. Bye, everyone. See you soon.